What's up, everybody? Back again with another video. Another rainy day, and I just want to give some background for why I wanted to make this channel, or start making videos, and what it's helped me with so far. So when I first made my first video, it felt very uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it, really. I've been wanting to do it, but I didn't want to do it. And that's a key part of why I wanted to do it. You see, I think that we all have two aspects of ourselves. As the meme says, there's two wolves inside of me, you know? I always like that meme. And these two aspects of ourselves are often conflicted. This gets a little bit into the Jungian psychology stuff that I'm interested in, but as I read about that, I really saw it in myself too. On one end, I can be a very analytical person. I like to see different patterns in life and see how this works with that, and how these things are in contrast with one another. But on the other end, I just wanted to kind of joke around with people and have a good time. I didn't want to constantly have to overthink or feel like I had to overthink. So it's like this, I think sometimes there's, in a certain way, we want to be this way at a certain time. Say we want to be an individual. We want to stand out, have our own uniqueness, do things our own way. But at the same time, we want to connect with people. We want to be somewhat understandable, somewhat relatable, and just we want to have people in our lives. And that's been a tough part for me, because when I get into my analytical mode and I start reading things and researching things, it's exciting, it feels good, but it also feels kind of self-isolating. And then sometimes when I'm just shooting the shit with my friends or joking around with people, it feels good as well. But it doesn't feel like I'm really getting it into the fullness of what I'm interested in or what I'm about. And honestly, like I said, some of my interests are a little bit different. Like, I look at things really deeply, and I feel like there's a helpful part to that, but there's also it can be very self-isolating, and I acknowledge that. And I don't know, it's like the past few years, it's been a big learning experience for me. I've definitely stepped out of my comfort zone in certain ways, and there's other ways where I still need to or want to, but I always remind myself that it's a journey, and in that journey, it's like we're all trying to figure it out, or trying to not necessarily just figure it out, but kind of get to a point where we feel better about our own lives. And that's the beauty of, people can feel like, oh, I have so much to work on, I have so much to learn before I can be where I really want to be. And getting back into the depth level of things, I think oftentimes it's our own egos that dictates, this is what's going to make you happy, this is what's going to make you feel accepted with yourself or accepted in others, and all these kind of things. But ultimately, it's like the ego really doesn't know that. The ego is more of a comparative aspect of ourselves, where we can be in this constant comparison, and to another extent, the ego can see we can see ourselves as either the lowest or the greatest. In the ego, it's like, I need to be the best, or if I fail, I am the worst. But ultimately, these are kind of distortions that exist in our mind. Or at least I've noticed that in my own life, and I think other people struggle with that, whether they're conscious of it or not. And in these past few years, I realized that the importance of self-compassion, to work with yourself where you're at today. Work with yourself with what you know so far. Cheer yourself on. Know you're doing your best. I feel like when I have that mindset, I'm so much more comfortable around people instead of when I'm in the mindset of beating myself up about things that may have been out of my control. I feel like it puts a certain lens over my eyes when I look at people and engage. It's like, what are they thinking of me? How would they react if, they saw this side of me or that side of me? But the older I get, the more I'm just like, you just got to let it flow in life. Be yourself. Acknowledge the things that you might need to work on, but working on those things is not tied to your self-worth. And I think I've said this in a previous video. Your self-worth is always there. It's a kind of an illusion if you think it's not there. And that's a beautiful thing, to see yourself as you're always worthy of making the change, facing the fear, stepping out of the comfort zone. And you're also worthy if it's too much for you right now, to not put it off, but go at your own pace. Take your own time with it. Lately, it's like when people have been coming to me with advice, I hear a lot of people say, well, it was this way with, they can often compare themselves or their situations to everyone else's. But part of the things that I've researched and looked into with myself is your journey in life is really going to be ultimately your own, and your choices are ultimately going to be what you chose to do. And people can influence that, but at the end of the day, only you can make the choice. And even if you've made choices based on what you thought you should do from what everyone else said, or how you thought things should be, or you wanted to impress this person or that person, that's fine. You don't beat yourself up over making the wrong choice, making a mistake, or something that didn't resonate with you. You can learn lessons from that. You can, instead of seeing it as a baggage or a burden, it's really more of a blessing once you can see that it was a lesson the whole time, when it was something that you can learn from. You can see more of yourself through your mistakes than your wins, because losses just teach you so much about life. So whenever I'm faced with a loss, sure, you have to experience the negative emotion of it, really allow yourself to sit in that instead of run away from it. But at the same time, if you can find a way to see it as a blessing, then I think you'll find a lot of good to it, if that makes any sense. Once again, just wishing you all the best. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're going through, you need to show yourself grace, show yourself compassion. Don't run away from the thing that scares you or that you want to run away from, and just continue to face it. Whatever you're going through, you got this. All right, y'all, have a great day.